What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and for today's WWE news video, holy shit, we've got a hell of a juicy episode for you guys today, because in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about John Cena potentially showing up to WrestleMania this year? Who knows? What's the condition on Drew McIntyre? Has Von Wagner truly been suspended? And this first one that I'm going to talk about, which is very juicy. Corey Graves, Raw commentator, cleared to compete again? Wonder what that's about. So, according to Fightful Select, big shout out, no copyrights of course. As you guys are well aware, Corey Graves had been out of action, had been away from the ring since 2014. That's 8 years. Up until now, that's 8 years. And this actually came from the fact that he had multiple concussion issues, and he had broke the news at NXT TakeOver Our Evolution, which he also announced that he was going to be transitioning from the NXT ring to the NXT commentary booth, and he had moved up from NXT to Raw, and then ended up getting being drafted over to SmackDown, and then eventually doing both shows. And then of course now he's then of course he ended up becoming a part of the SmackDown commentary team for the latter part of 2019, pretty much the latter part of a year and a half, somewhere around there. Now he's a part of Monday Night Raw alongside Byron Saxton and Jimmy Smith, and of course Pat McAfee is with Michael Cole on SmackDown. According to Fightful Select, big shout out, no copyrights. They learned that the WWE medical team had cleared Corey Graves sometime back in 2021, last year, and it was not. But this was not. Apparently, this was not confirmed by WWE themselves. However, so we don't know if he is truly cleared to compete or not. But he has been on what was known as the no contact list since 2014, and then of course during the November 8th edition of Monday Night Raw, Corey Graves pinned Akira Tozawa to win the 24/7 title, which made that the first title in 8 years that he had been champion, but he was then defeated by Byron Saxton seconds later, which was actually kind of funny. Apparently, he decided to not comment on his on him being cleared to compete, but he took to Twitter yesterday and said, I just logged in to see if Paige was still trending. Obviously, you guys know, apparently Paige has also been cleared to compete as well, but we don't know if it's true or not. Is it possible to see Corey Graves back in the ring? Yes, it is. I would love to see it. I never got the chance to watch Corey Graves compete. From his days in NXT, because I didn't watch NXT back in 2014. I started watching it was like back in 2016, 2017, like right around there, and was it 2017? Yeah, I think it was 2017. I think the first takeover I saw was Takeover Orlando, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was Takeover Orlando. It was the first NXT takeover that I saw. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. That was a hell of a card, but I mean, Corey Graves being able to compete on the main roster, no less. That's some big ass shoes to fill for Corey Graves, because if he does compete on Raw, he'll be going up against guys like AJ Styles and guys like Apollo Crews. But is it really worth it? That's a big question. With how bad his injuries were, there's really no telling if it's truly worth the risk or not. Because I know with Daniel Bryan, or I guess now Bryan Danielson in WWE, but when he retired back in 2016, because of his neck injuries, we thought it was the end. But he announced 2 years later. But he announced literally 2 years later that he was cleared. He was cleared to compete, and he was ready to go. And he ended up becoming WWE champion at that time, and that was the last championship he ever won in WWE, was that title right there. By the way, shout outs to Starbucks for this triple shot. Not sponsored, but Starbucks, hit me up. Anyway, so it is very possible that we could see Graves back in the ring, but only time will tell. We don't really know if he will or not, but you never know. It's the old adage, never say never. That being said, Drew McIntyre injured. We know. If you guys remember, back just a few weeks ago at WWE Day 1, Drew McIntyre was attacked backstage by Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. And apparently he had been working with WWE through some neck issues, and it was been confirmed. And apparently, according to PW Insider, big shout out, no copyrights, of course. WWE had confirmed that McIntyre did indeed undergo some tests, and he has been dealing with these neck issues, but as of now, we don't really know how long he'll be out. But I can pretty much guarantee that almost guarantee that he'll be out of WrestleMania, which is unfortunate. Very, very, very unfortunate. It is so unfortunate because last year's WrestleMania, we saw, Drew McIntyre go up against Bobby Lashley for the WWE title, and now with him out, there's going to be nobody left. And apparently the rumor had it that it was that with the Royal Rumble coming up, it was supposed to have been Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, but that hence the reason why Seth Rollins ended up being the new challenger, which could signify that he may end up getting traded back to SmackDown, which is a possibility. And apparently there's going to be a face turn for Seth Rollins, which has been pretty imminent the last, I think since Survivor Series, if I remember correctly. It was like right around there. It's been pretty imminent, but yeah. But apparently just a few days ago, he had been spotted in Pittsburgh wearing a neck brace, apparently. And again, there's no time frame as to when he will come back to the ring, but shout outs to Drew shout outs to you, brother. Hope we see you hope we get to see you back in WWE, kicking some ass and sending people to Claymore Country. Anyway, that being said, speaking of returns, on the topic of Corey Graves, is John Cena coming back? So if you guys remember, the last time John Cena was at WrestleMania, it was actually just a couple years ago in 2020 when he went up against The Fiend in that Firefly Funhouse match, which was an abomination. It was a clusterfuck. I don't know why that match took place, but it took place. But you guys know, John Cena has been in every single WrestleMania since his debut in 2002. So let's see, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 36. Yeah, 36. So 18 consecutive WrestleManias back to back to back to back to back. And last year's WrestleMania was the one time that we never got to see John Cena in WWE, which was so bizarre. It was very, very bizarre to not see John Cena at WrestleMania, but it was the first time, and it's possible that we could see him back, but he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, which apparently this season is her last season ever before it goes off the air for good, which is unfortunate, but it's the old adage, all good things must come to an end. But big shout outs to Ellen DeGeneres. Maybe we might see her as a guest in WWE. Y'all know I've been trying to get in for quite some time, so if you guys want to see me in WWE, drop comments below. Drop them comments and let your voices get heard on social media. Be sure you guys tag me on. Make sure you guys tag my social media. The links will be in the description. Let WWE know what's up, and y'all know what's good. But speaking on the Ellen DeGeneres show, he noted that there has been a number of opportunities coming up that could prevent him from making it to WrestleMania. He said, and I quote, WrestleMania is usually in late March, early April. I don't know if I'm going to make it this year. That's a good conundrum to have because there are a lot of good opportunities coming up, which I would love to take. If all those things line up, I don't know if I'll be able to make WrestleMania. I will tell everybody watching, I'm not done with WWE by a long shot. That's my home. I love it. I was able to go back during the summer for a few months and entertain audiences when they welcomed audiences back to arenas. And I'm far from having my last performance. So as you guys know, John Cena is preparing for the launch of the new the new DC series Peacemaker, which the first 3 episodes will be on HBO Max. So that's gonna be crazy. But obviously, big shout out to Fightful for the quote, because that was actually what was there. But big shout outs to all the sources that I've mentioned. No copyrights, of course. I don't own the copyrights. Y'all know how this works with the algorithm. But yeah, I mean, John Cena not being able to make it is unfortunate, but at the same time, it's a good opportunity for him to for him to take a break away from WWE, especially with him working Peacemaker, it's a big opportunity for him. But now the question remains: what's up with Von Wagner? What the hell is going on? So as you guys know, at New Year's Evil, Von Wagner ended up attacking a fan in the NXT crowd, which is something that you do not do. It was at New Year's Evil that we saw this happen, and it's something you don't do. You do not put your hands on a fan, no matter what. And apparently, and he was actually then escorted out of the building and ended up getting into it with Diamond Mine in the process, while Roderick Strong was being treated by medical after his match with Carmelo Hayes. As you guys know, we found out that Von Wagner had been suspended and had been fined, and apparently it was lifted. Now, as you guys know, not too long ago, I think it was like a few months ago, Von Wagner was what ended up showing up to SmackDown as Adam Pearce's guest. And you guys know that Robert Stone has had his eyes on Von Wagner over the last several weeks, and there's been rumors going around saying that one of them paid the fine and helped lift the suspension. And as of now, Von Wagner, especially in NXT, he's been one of WWE's most heavily pushed and promoted superstars since the brand was rebooted into NXT 2.0 back in September, and with him going, turning heel, attacking Kyle O'Reilly, at Halloween Havoc. Apparently WWE's they've got high hopes for him, but I don't know. I feel like it might be Adam Pearce because of the fact that Von Wagner was a part of SmackDown first before Robert Stone had his eyes on Von Wagner. So it's possible, but only time will tell. Don't really know what the future holds for Von Wagner, but his suspension's been lifted. I don't really know what else to say except what the fuck. But that brings me to the question of the day. If Corey Graves is cleared to compete, who do you guys want to see him face for his first match since 2014? Let me know in the comments below, and that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE news videos, which get posted every Thursday, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.